Very briefly, I mean, plainly, what you are saying and what you've been publishing hurts Hillary Clinton. Would you prefer Trump to be president?
Hoping these leaks elect Donald Trump president?
Why haven't we seen anything hacked from the Trump campaign? I mean, obviously we know these came from Russia.
And we also know that you do not like Hillary Clinton at all, as does not Vladimir Putin. So it looks like you are working with a bad actor, Russia, to put your thumb on the scale and basically fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.
We know the source of the material, right? Everyone knows the source of what we published.
And Russia's from Russia.
The source is the Democratic Party.
And basically, fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
The source is the Democratic Party.
I waited 6 hours and 15 minutes to vote. I call it the Arizona Democratic Party as well for not letting anyone know that there was early voting, okay? If they knew there was going to be a problem, you know why they didn't tell anybody? Because they have their candidate already. Her name is Hillary Clinton, okay? That is why.
And basically, fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
The source is the Democratic Party.
Hillary. The Bernie, can I just say, to the Bernie or bust people, you're being ridiculous. Fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
The source is the Democratic Party.
Absolutely wrong. Listen to
hell no, DNC. We will vote for Hillary.
Listen to that chant. It is as loud tonight as it was last night. We just had a leader of this rally say, we are nonviolent. This is an incredibly loud, boisterous, and steadfast crowd. It is not a violent crowd, but we are
And basically, fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
The source is the Democratic Party.
So, share this video. The California Bernie Sanders delegates have been held outside their entrance for longer than every other state. And they've blocked off all of the seats with reserve signs for seat fillers or scabs, and they've placed a white noise machine above our section. Yeah, Susan, seat fillers. They're paying people $50 a day to wear Hillary shirts and hold signs and come in here and sit down, so there's no room for elected delegates. I have the California Democrats list of official elected delegates, and Hillary and Bernie Sanders people with the names on them, and I can tell you that this section has not been full. This section has not been full every day, and we come in and now they've blocked off all the main seats, and the Hillary people were standing outside. They were saying, what's the plan? What are the instructions? And they were saying the instructions are to save 10 seats. So they've already instructed the Hillary delegates in California when they get here to block off 10 seats.
And basically, fuck with the one person who stands in the way of us being ruled by Donald Trump.
The source is the Democratic Party. The source is Louis Miranda, Derek Wasserman Schultz, et cetera, et cetera.
All right.
What I can say categorically is that we have published proof that the election campaign of Bernie Sanders was sabotaged in a corrupt manner by Debbie Wasserman Schultz and others within the DNC.
We've already claimed one victim, former Democratic Chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This is no longer about accountability on public figures.
But what about the election? What's the redress for the people that have effectively, one can argue, have had a candidate stolen from them as a result of corrupt practices within the DNC?
Are you
let's move on to the other part. So why don't you hack into Donald Trump's tax returns?
Are you concerned that when if a foreign government uses your entity, that you have now seen WikiLeaks get weaponized?
Weapons, 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 weapons of terror, terrible weapons, weapons of mass destruction, chemical weapons, weapons of mass destruction, dangerous weapons, even more dangerous weapons, biological weapons, chemical agents, chemical weapons, chemical attacks, chemical and biological weapons, chemical and biological weapons, ballistic missiles, chemical or biological weapons, chemical or biological attack, chemical and biological attacks, poisons, deadly gases, the biological or chemical weapon, instruments of terror, the instruments of mass death, weapons of mass destruction, nuclear weapon, nuclear weapon, nuclear weapon, nuclear weapons, nuclear weapon, bomb, nuclear weapons, nuclear program, nuclear weapons program, nuclear scientists, nuclear holy warriors, nuclear program and nuclear weapons, nuclear weapon, nuclear technology, biological or chemical, or a nuclear weapon.
The issue at hand here is the idea that a foreign government is using you as a go-between, is using WikiLeaks.
Iraq, with Iraq, Iraqi people.
Interesting, however, the Clinton campaign, in order to divert attention from proof that we published that the Sanders campaign was subverted within the DNC, not simply comments within the DNC, but a chain of command issuing orders to push around without attribution fake stories showing that Sanders supporters were violent, amongst numerous other matters, that has been pushed out before the public. And in response, what does the Clinton campaign do? The Clinton campaign tries to take attention away from a very serious domestic allegation about election interference and try and bring in foreign policy.
Well, the easiest way, Mr. Assange, the easiest way to clear this up.
So concerning.
Right.
So concerning is that even to the head of the DNI, the Clinton campaign is pulling the government, pulling the state of politics along with it to create an international conflict. Our publishing model means that what we publish is guaranteed to be true. That's what we're concerned about. That's what our readers are concerned about. That's the right of the general public.
In my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again to kind of catapult the propaganda.
People don't appreciate this. You know, in the last days of the Soviet Union, you had dozens of newspapers, dozens of magazines, all kinds of radio and television stations. The only problem is that all of that media was controlled by the Communist Party of the Soviet Union or the government of the Soviet Union. We are moving in that direction.